Now, the American President Donald Trump wants Russia back in the G7, in essence offering to mainstream Russia once again after it was expelled from the grouping in 2014. The problem is that Russia says that it is no longer interested in the G7 at all. Now, Russia was removed from the G7, then known as the G8, after it launched an attack on Georgia in 2008. Trump, however, feels that the decision that was taken by the then Obama administration was a mistake that had ostracized Russia and had led to the Ukrainian conflict.
I'd love to have him back. I think it was a mistake to throw him out. Look, it's not a question of liking Russia or not liking Russia. It was the G8. And, you know, I said, what are you doing? You guys, all you talk about is Russia, and they should be sitting at the table. I think Putin would love to be back.
Russia, however, is not keen on joining the G7. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said as much, claiming that Russia is more interested in working in the G20 since the G7 has lost its relevance. Now, harsh words these from Kremlin, given that the G7 is set to stand for the group of the 7 most industrialized countries. It includes the likes of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom and the United States, with the European Union as a non-enumerated member, which means that it cannot hold the rotating presidency of the grouping. In contrast, the G20 grouping is spread massively across the globe. Russia's preference for it is understandable, given that the G20 most importantly includes global economic powerhouses such as China and also a host of emerging economies, including India. Now, the G7 nations together combine a global population of just under 10%, while the G20 nations cover nearly 80% of the world's population. Together, the nations of the G20 account for more than 85% of the global economic output, and they make up around 75% of the global exports. In contrast, the economic power of the G7 has shrunk as larger emerging markets have taken up a relatively greater share of the world's economy. The G7's relevance has been a subject of debate for years now, mainly because while it claims to represent a major industrialized nations, China, which has surpassed every economy but that of the United States, is absent in it. Officially, Moscow left the group in 2018 and was repeatedly said that it does not want to rejoin. Even in his first term, Donald Trump had expressed skepticism about the effectiveness of trying to isolate Russia. His latest comments have once again seemed to have underlined that excluding Russia from the global discussions actually aggravates tensions and leads to misunderstandings. Experts say that it highlights Donald Trump's pragmatic approach to diplomacy with a focus on ending conflicts and not differentiating on ideological positions. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.